chassis bar plates in place, I needed to get a couple of things. It did call for Loctite number 242 blue. This cost me about $6.50 at Home Depot. You can probably get it at any hardware store. But this is, I think it's special because it is removable if I ever need to do that. Now the actual bolts on my side plates are like a star shape. So I found this T45 is going to be the one that I am going to need in order to get that off. I don't want to strip it out by using the wrong thing. It is a Torx bit socket, and I got the 3/4 because it's kind of a big one. So I'll be using that to take off the bolts out so I can get those side plates on. So the side plates came in from Revzilla in a box marked just with their tape, but otherwise not too distinguishable. And I've already pulled this out, but it has a lot of packing, which is nice because it protects my plates. So it does say use anti-seize on the chrome-plated fasteners. In order to install this, it looks like I'm going to need a Torx wrench, a 5/16 hex key, and a 5/32 hex key wrench. I'll zoom in here on the part number. Just to point out an interesting situation I'm going to run into here. This socket is butting right up against the tail light, so we just have to work around that. What I'm going to do is just take a piece of foam. Actually separates my sockets. You can actually see I'm doubling it up here. Underneath this plate, on the underside of the fender, I can feel that there's a plate this is screwing into, and I'm just kind of holding on. I don't really know what's all going on under there, so just want to make sure nothing comes off. Alright, this is a fairly short bolt, and I can see that there's some goop on there, probably prior Loctite. The bolts that I'm going to be replacing it with are going to be a little bit longer just to accommodate those plates. You're going to want to wipe everything down. Just make sure you're not getting any grime under there. It does say to take these reflectors off. They actually set in quite a bit. And so when I wind up putting the plates on there, it's going to have some distance. I don't know that I want to remove it, mainly because that plate, when I set it up against there, it's gonna have a bit of clearance. It's not gonna rock against that. I could probably get the width of my thumb in there. So I'm not gonna take those off. I kind of like having reflectors, even if they're partially obscured. I'd rather have them than not. And I really don't want to screw with the body. Any paint. Point out that this did come with, these side plates came with 2 size bolts. These four fatter ones are obviously going to be to put in my side plates, and then these smaller ones are going to be for the mounting of the sissy bar. Just to show you a side-by-side comparison, the bolt that I took out of the fender plate is this shorter one. It does have a washer on it. And then the new ones they gave me are a little bit longer with no washer. Hope this angle works for you. I don't have anybody to hold the camera, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this clean new bolt and the Loctite. The Loctite does say to shake it. It's never really shaken up super glue or anything like that, but since they sent the plates without a washer, I think I'm going to go without the washer. I really can't take it off anyway, so I'm going to hold on to my original parts and go ahead and apply the Loctite. Don't get overzealous with like I did, because I just spilt it all over my fingers. It's hopefully something you guys want to do. Alright, with my best retrieval mode, I was able to secure that bracket. What it was a metal plate with a nipple at each end, and had to inset it back in. The only way I could get to it was by sticking my hand under the back of the fender. unless you've got some kind of a jack. I want to make sure that I don't scratch up my bike tail light, so I'm just putting a t-shirt over it. And you want to have your finger in that hole behind your fender, just kind of holding that plate in place. First side's on. Just to give you guys an idea of the clearance this has, get this to focus. There's a tiny bit of room right back here between the plate and this tail light boot. So here's what it looks like. Again, the reflector's partially covered, but I can get it's hard to show you guys, but I can get my fingers back here between it, so it's not like it's gonna rub, and it's pretty well in place. Now I just have to go to the other side. So I'm back to my first step of taking that star socket, and we gotta loosen this up. Supporting that back plate behind there, because losing it earlier was kind of a pain in the butt. So I want to make sure I don't lose it again. There we go. I've got side plates. Again, these are Chromeworks or Drag Specialties, same thing. Side plates, and they fit, they clear. Let's see if we can get a sissy bar installed. Again, it's a Chromeworks / Drag Specialties sissy bar. It says it's meant to fit older Softails in the Dyna, but it's 8 3/4, which is what I've got on the spread. It's what I've got on this spread here between the plates. So let's see how we do. That is a thing of beauty right there. That is just right. There's a minor amount of give back and forth, and it slid right in. So now all I have to do is line up my holes. Now I knew that I knew there was a risk that these outer holes may not line up, but since it's the same company, I think we're going to be good to go. All we have to do is line up these holes. I'm just gonna put them in kind of finger tight because I got 4 of them. So I get one on each side. So this is what we have now. Take a walk on around. Show you how we're fitting. Hopefully this angle shows you kind of a little bit more of the clearance I have. And get kind of my whole fingers in there. That's what we've got. I think it's looking pretty sweet. So my last steps that I have to do on this are to get the pegs on there. I'm kind of in the process of doing that video, but I ordered Harley's pegs and they are not long enough. So I had to get extenders, but the extenders don't match up. I've got to go get those ground down like 1 or 2 millimeters. So I've got a local machine shop that's going to do that for me soon, and then I'll get all that together for you. But if you're outfitting your bike with the passenger seat and the Sissy seat, or the Sissy bar, this is what mine looks like. I did not have to buy the detachable system. I did not have to relocate my taillights. I did it myself with tools I had laying around, other than that star bit I had to go buy at Home Depot in the Loctite. It was pretty easy, especially if you don't lose that plate behind there like I did. So if you have questions, feel free to put comments in there. I have not yet taken it for a ride. It's still a little cold in the 30s here in Michigan. The one thing I still have to do is get Mustang's Sissy pad that matches this wide tripper brown system. I'm going to order the pad directly through Mustang. I ordered the solo seat from Dennis Kirk. It came very quickly. I ordered the passenger seat through J&P Cycle. It was very slow to come, and I'll go through Mustang seats directly and let you know how that happens with the addition of the Sissy bar pad in brown in the wide tripper. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. And if you're curious about this logo on my jacket, it is for my band Nikki, Holland, and Dirty Elizabeth. Check us out. We always love to have you join us online or at a show if you're ever in Michigan or when we hit the road this summer. Thanks a lot.